Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Chairman, that was a sort of a fairly good second reading speech. But, sir, I was quite surprised that the member was the one who was speaking rather than the member in charge of the bill, because I think the normal practice at the committee stage of a bill, as I think the member should be aware, is that when there is a substantive supplementary order paper, the member in charge of the bill, normally a minister, but in this case Mr Quinn, will get up and explain what was the substance of the supplementary order paper, and in this case I think he should have taken responsibility for the situation which led to the supplementary order paper, which effectively reverses the guts of the bill. But as you know, I know that all of us have the first time in the chair, and like the member, I was lucky enough to be involved in a bill well before my ministerial time, a bill which is I don't know if it was that good actually. It was the Waikato electricity and gas legislation at the time, Mr. Chairman. But as I'm indicating to the member, it would have been better and it would have been polite to the House if in fact he had stood up, because this, I think it's fair to say, this will be the highlight of his three-year parliamentary career. And when people go back and look at the changes that he's made, and in the future, when he's looking out from his home in Roseneath over to Mount Crawford, he'll be able to say that for a period of time, as a result of my work, there were people there who couldn't go on the electoral roll. Well, sir, if that's the peak of someone's parliamentary career, to look out from their house in Roseneath over to Mount Crawford and to say, because I don't think he could actually see the prison in the Hutt Valley from his place. I think you've got to look around the corner a bit from Roseneath to... Sorry? I know where Umataka prison is. I know where the Hutt Valley is, unlike Mr Quinn, who's a fairly irregular visit out there. In fact, didn't make it to either of the school prize givings last night. Didn't make it to either of the school prize givings last night. Well, he's a champion of the Valley. He's a champion of the Valley.
Was he up for a prize?
The Dunce's Prize. The Dunce's Prize, because I think this bill, Mr Speaker, Mr Chairman, is one where I don't think I've seen, in the time that I've been in Parliament, such gross incompetence in the management of a simple piece of legislation. This is not complicated legislation, Mr Speaker. It is relatively simple. I can understand the problems that Maurice Williamson had with his shipping legislation in the past, because it was substantive, or I don't really understand Kate Wilkinson's problems a couple of weeks ago, but this, because that was simple too. So, but in this case, to have an effect which is the reverse of the intention of the minister in charge of the bill, well, I would have thought it was impossible. I would have thought that a member who was even half competent, who was in charge of a piece of legislation, would read it. And if he couldn't understand it, get someone to read it to him. And if he couldn't understand it then, get someone with some legal knowledge, Simon Bridges or... No, to be fair, the junior lawyer from Tauranga has some legal knowledge, and he could have explained it to Paul Quinn, and then we wouldn't have Paul Quinn with a supplementary order paper, which can be well summarised, the supplementary order paper, Mr Chairman, is saying, I'm sorry. Paul Quinn proposed amendment, Paul Quinn in committee to move the following amendment, new clause 6 to add the following clause after line 24 on page 2, and really it should say I'm sorry. Because what the member has done, Mr Chairman, is almost unforgivable. He has sat on a select committee on a bill, he's looked at it carefully, he's gone line by line through the supplementary order paper, he's looked at all the changes that were done in the select committee, and what is... Well, no, he didn't wake up. That's the whole point. It came to the House wrong because he was asleep. And all I want to do is to say to my colleagues on the Select Committee who let him do it, congratulations.
Mr Chair. Point of order.
A point of order, Paul Quinn.
Somewhere in standing orders, I'm allowed to, upon resumption of the seat of the previous speaker, correct the statement of fact. He claimed that I sat on the Select Committee. I did not.
If this is a point of order, the member can take a call and just do that.
No, there's a point.
Well, I think it's 108, but I need to look it up. But what does the member?
He wants to seek leave, I think.
You want him to seek leave to correct the
statement made by the speaker, previous speaker.
By the. Well, so what are you doing?
He doesn't know what he's doing, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, I do.
No, I didn't get that right. Well, I'll take a call if that's not. Stuart Nash.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It was a difficult decision, I know. It was a really difficult one, but you came up with the right answer in the end, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, when I look at this